champ is here. The undisputed lightweight champ of the world. Katie Taylor is with us on the bus. You came on the bus and you said immediately, this is good.
Yeah,
this is a nice little background.
Yeah, it's fantastic. This is something very, very different anyway to what I'm used to. But yeah, nice to have the Leeds United players in the background. I'm actually a huge Leeds fan, so
yeah, we did our little research.
Yeah.
This isn't by luck. We knew exactly.
Yeah. It's cool, yeah.
It is cool. Let's talk about your fight on the weekend. You take on Jennifer Han. You defend all your marbles again. 4 fights in less than 12 months, really. Once the fight comes around, incredible year for you.
Yeah, it has been a great year. This is what I love, the fact I am staying so active, and if I could fight every week, I would, believe me. But yeah, it's great to be on another huge show, and actually have a chance to fight in front of 20,000 people is absolutely huge as well. This is the first time in the last year and a half that I've actually fought in front of a live crowd, so
that's going to be weird, isn't it? And I was thinking about that. I mean, you've had some really good wins as well. You've taken Tasha Jonas, Delphine Pursoon, all behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Really, this though, against Jennifer Han, 20,000.
Yeah, it's going to be so special, and this is what you want, isn't it? The atmosphere is going to be back again. This is what all the fighters have basically missed over the last year and a half.
Yeah.
It's fighting in front of a big crowd like this, and in front of a passionate Leeds crowd, it's going to be huge. Yeah.
Constantly in huge fights, Katie, and as we've seen, the Tasha one, the Pursoon rematch. Are you enjoying being so active? I mean, the only person who's as active as you in the magnitude of fighters, I was just took the words out of my mouth, is Canelo. So to be spoken about in the same breath as someone as amazing as he is, you are there. You're pound for pound, potentially the best female in the world, and you just go out there and you shine every time. Does that bring an extra added pressure to you, or do you feel like I'm comfortable anyway?
Yeah, I think I definitely thrive under that pressure. I think it's something that I'm very, very used to, even in the amateur game. I think that there's always so much pressure on me, but I love that pressure, and I think I see it more as an encouragement rather than anything else, because it means that your record in the ring is a good one, you're performing well, and I love being in this position as a favourite going into these fights, defending all my belts, and if I wasn't feeling any pressure, there'd be something wrong at this stage. So I love being in this position.
What do you feel that Jennifer brings to the table? She's obviously a very good fighter herself.
Yeah.
What do you think her strengths and weaknesses are coming into this fight?
Yeah, I think she's obviously a very, very good technical fighter. She has a great amateur background as well. So I think it's going to be more like an amateur fight rather than a pro fight, where it's going to be nice and technical. I think, but I guess we'll see on the actual night. But I know she's not as big of a name, say, as the other names I've actually fought, but I'm definitely not overlooking her. She's a very, very good fighter, and I can't afford, obviously, to get complacent during these fights, because that's when you start losing fights. I have prepared for this fight as hard as I've prepared for any other fight, and I just can't wait to get in there.
You're right. To use the football part, it's like an FA Cup final, isn't it?
Yeah.
For when they come up against you, you are the golden ticket for a lot of these girls coming up. She is a former, or current really, featherweight champion, IBF. She's held that belt for ages. Never got a chance. She's looking at you thinking this is what she's been waiting for. She's been fighting since 2009. She fights Katie Taylor now.
Keys to the kingdom.
Yeah, that's it. And you're dead right. I think every person that actually fights me actually raises their game 10 or 15%. So that's what I'm prepared for. And I'm just looking forward to a great night on Saturday.
What do you anticipate when you come out in front of the 20,000 in Leeds? Because as you've touched on, you're a Leeds fan. You see, this city is just vibrant, and football is such a big part of it. How are you going to feel coming out? 20,000 people, kids are going to be screaming for you.
Something that I dream of as a kid. Fighting, you know yourself, Tony, having the opportunity to actually fight in front of a live crowd, such a passionate crowd. It's you just can't beat it, can't you know? There's something very, very special about having that atmosphere and having that support behind you as well. It definitely spurs the fighters on, and I just can't wait for it.
You are the one now that everyone looks for. Everyone, no matter what weight class, they say, oh, I want Katie Taylor. People are going to ask what next. And it's awful to look past Jennifer, but Amanda Serrano fought last weekend. They've been talking about Cyborg and Amanda Nunes having boxing matches. Do you look at those fights as those big fights that open you up to the bigger market?
Yeah, I absolutely love those kind of fights. I was obviously signed to fight Amanda Serrano a couple of times, and the fight fell through. So I'm obviously willing and able and ready to step.
Did you watch her fight on the weekend?
I didn't watch it. I was obviously busy preparing for my own fight. I was over here in the UK at the time, so I wasn't willing to stay until 4:30 in the morning to actually watch her fight. But I heard obviously that was a completely dominant performance from her, and she's a fantastic fighter, and that's a huge mega fight, I think. But the fight hasn't happened not because of me. She's the one to put out that fight, so I guess the ball is in her court whether we fight or not.
Knowing the consummate professional, knowing the consummate professional that you are, I know you're never going to look past that point, you never look past the fight, but I mean, it's so hard because these names keep getting thrown at you, Katie, time and time again, and they have been ever since you left the Olympic Games. So I know, you know, there's an awful lot to live up to, there's an awful lot of expectation put on your shoulders, but how do you feel about your next move? You know, when do you want to box again? Because as we said before, the only more active person in bigger fights is Canelo. So when do you want to be out again? And who would you like?
Yeah, I'd actually love to be out again before the end of the year. That's for sure.
Wow.
I hope November, December sometime. So
5 fights in 15 months.
that's I mean, I love it. Yeah, I really love it, and. I would love some of those big names that you have mentioned, the likes of Serrano, Jessica McCaskill, even.
She'll be there Saturday.
Yeah, I heard that actually. Yeah. So, obviously, looking forward to facing her again as well in a rematch. So these are the big names I want, and I want to be involved in these big mega fights.
Finally, how's the pandemic affected you? Obviously, look, you train out in America, so you've got to come over here, and I guess there's a bit of quarantining as well, fighting behind closed doors. How's it all affected you?
It hasn't really affected me too much, to be honest. Like I said, I have been one of the more active fighters. I guess it's affected my family more so. They haven't been able to travel over to America to visit me. They're usually over every few months, so it's been tough not being able to see family as much as I probably would have liked. But other than that, I've just been doing business as usual, really just getting my head down, just working away, and that's about it.
All right, Katie, we're going to let you go. You've still got a bit of training to do. We're going to let her go. Katie Taylor takes on Jennifer Han, co-main event in front of 20,000 fans at Headingley, Leeds Girl as well. So it should be an absolutely cracking reception for her. Make sure you watch it live on DAZN.